And we're back on this latest episode of Raise the Roof. We have our special guest here with us. He attended the 2026 or 2020, I guess 2025, 2026, no, 2025 winter meetings in Orlando, which was at Disney, but wasn't at the same place as it's been at Disney in recent years. I don't know how it worked. The hotel was like in some random ass place that was still considered on property. But we have our boy Ethan, aka Running from the Ops, here with us. Ethan, first off, thanks so much for coming back on. I know that you've recovered from your recent illness, which is great news. But welcome back to the pod. And just first off, wanted to get your thoughts about what it was like going to the winter meetings because I know it was your first time going.
Oh, well, I mean, thanks for having me on. It's always nice to be on, but no, the winter meetings were awesome. I mean, I would say not even just baseball event, it's probably a top three event I've ever gone to. It's been able to meet so many people that I've known on Twitter and meet them in person. And I mean, you're just walking around, you're seeing Jeff Passan and John Heyman and Albert Pujols, and it's crazy who you can just go and meet there and interact with. So the experience as a whole was fantastic.
Yeah, who did you kind of interact with the most when you were there? I don't know if it was Rays people. I know that you're obviously, talking and involved with a bunch of other just general baseball people. So who were you kind of gravitating towards when you were there?
I went with one of my buddies, Mikey, OC Baseball, he went for on Twitter.
Okay.
I went with him. I met up with a couple of race people, Ronald that I know from Twitter, and just a couple of driveline guys, just baseball media guys. So it was a lot of fun, and just being able to actually, put a face on people that I'm talking to every day was awesome.
Yeah. What was so for those that don't know and haven't been to a winter meetings before, what's the best way to describe it? Because I know like I feel like it's a lot of like organized chaos to an extent of there's just so many things going on in such a short period of time, so many people talking to each other, you have so many media hits from so many different people, especially race people. Like I know Eric Neander went on, I know Ken Babby was there. So like how would you describe it from at least your experience this year?
Yeah, so I went to the networking events from 8 to 11. The first 2 days I was there, and the third day was kind of you could just go and do whatever. But after the networking events, basically there's like a whole hallway, I guess, in the hotel after the like main doors, and it's all just media. So on the left and right side, you're seeing people doing interviews. You'll see the MLB network set up. Uh, I think it's really good for people to just go and cover the game of baseball. But there's also players that go, all the owners go. Um, it's kind of an experience like you could describe, but like once you're there and people that are listening that have gone in the years past, it's almost indescribable. It's so cool the people that you can meet there, just all the stars that go. It's basically just one big collection of baseball minds in the same spot. Media that's able to cover the game, and I mean the Rule Five was there. The draft lottery was there. It was just a collection of fun over the 3 days that I was able to go.
Did you go to the draft lottery?
I
Or
was
like I don't
actually,
know how that vibe was.
yeah, I was able to sneak in. So I was able to be there and kind of watch that unfold. But yeah, I mean, even the Rule Five stuff was really cool as well. Some of the guys that I thought would get targeted ended up getting picked up. So just the experience was awesome in general.
Who were you able to connect with?
Um, some of the guys from Bucko Banner, they do just like Pirates related stuff for just baseball media. I had a really good conversation with Mark Topkin for about 10 minutes.
Nice.
So that was one of the guys that I really wanted to speak with. I don't know, just a lot of like past driveline guys. Spoke with Aram from just baseball.
Oh, they're the
Just
best over there.
yeah, just a lot of just people that I've been able to meet in the industry and meet them and gain valuable connections and experiences. So it was, I mean, it was just awesome. I mean, we're walking by and we're just like talking to John Heyman. Like it was just a cool experience.
That is pretty dope. On the draft specifically, because we didn't talk about this earlier, the Rays got the number two pick.
Yeah,
Like
we
they
forgot to
kind of
mention that.
frauded their way into the number two pick. They didn't deserve to get the number two pick. But here we are, Brett Phillips sitting up on the front stage getting that. When you saw the Rays land number two, what were your thoughts about that? Because I know that I don't know how stacked this draft class is, but I know at least the top 10 guys, top 15 guys are really solid, which gives obviously the Rays a giant amount. Like they have a lot of leeway to be able to pick through people as they want.
Yeah, I mean, Brady Emerson's a guy that I really like. lefty shortstop. I think Drew Burris, if somehow he's I mean, he's not going to obviously go one, but I think that's probably a bat that they could go out and get. Um, there's a righty, I think, from Coastal Carolina that one of my buddies, Overdue Sports, I think he actually mocked him to us, so I could see that. But I mean, consensus number one, I think is probably going to go number one. But number two, they could go a prep route, which I mean they go a lot of prep shortstop because you can mold them and kind of develop them however you want to. But I think Drew Burris would also be a guy that I would be, I mean, absolutely thrilled with out of Georgia Tech.
And I mean, the Rays do love taking their fair share of shortstops in the
Yeah,
draft. So
yeah. Emerson would be if they wanted to go that route, I'd probably go there. I mean, if it wasn't, I mean, he's probably consensus like number two or number three pick at this point.
I want Drew Burris so badly.
Yeah, he's beast.
I understand that he's a small dude. He's like 5'8". So height is not at his advantage. But when you're hitting the homers that he's hitting,
Oh
and I
yeah.
don't, and I don't know because I know he uses a 44 Pro bat, and I know that a lot of the BB Core bats are pretty much the same now, but like not really like it's not a DeMarini, it's not a Combat, it's not a Rawlings, it's not one of like the big Buku bats, and he's putting up the numbers that he is. I mean, that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he's able to generate so much power from his frame. Like he doesn't like, I mean, to your point, he doesn't look like he would be able to just smash home runs, but he'll go on tears where he is just, I mean, arguably the best offensive player in the country. So, I would be, I mean, he'll probably be a slam dunk top five pick. I think Emerson's more of kind of like a Rays guy just because prep shortstop and I mean, the swing itself is disgusting from the left side. Like even when the kid was 13, 14 years old, and you could see his swing, it's so developed, just so compact through the zone, quick hands, easy bat speed. So there's a multitude of guys that can go at number two. But I mean, as long as we're not picking Tim Beckham again, I think we're okay with them with the second overall pick.
Yeah, Evan, how do you
uh,
feel about us getting number two?
I mean, Drew Burris, maybe he could be the right-handed outfielder that we've been talking about for the last.
Yeah, we need a right-handed outfielder so
Can,
badly.
can he play like right when we draft him? Because we might actually need him up there at like, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about like college guys. That's not my. I don't know a whole lot about that, but um, I mean, based on like I kind of said already, like Rays love picking those shortstops. I mean, and Grady seems like a beast, and we kind of, I mean, we don't. I mean, Carson, we still need to see what we have with Carson. So, but right now, I just right-handed at bats in the outfield. Give me all of them. I want all of those guys. So, Drew Burris signed me up for him.
I've just been high on him for a while. Like I watch the Bat Bros a lot, and he's been in a couple of their videos, and he's absolutely mashed. So like I understand that's all like BP stuff, but it's pretty sick watching him play, and he's been a beast at Georgia Tech. With the ACC is a powerhouse for baseball at the college ranks, so that I would be 100% in for him. I will never say no. So other than like, did you? I don't know if you got a chance to talk with Neander because I know that he was around. I don't know if you talked with Babby at all because I know he was around. But if you did, what were your interactions with them, either short or long?
No, I didn't get a chance to meet any of them. It was mainly just Topkin. And one of my buddies had a pretty like lengthy conversation with Ryan Bass, but I saw Brett Phillips there. Um, I saw who else was there? That then like I can remember. I think it was mainly just Topkin and Ryan Bass that I
I
honestly
know Trisha was there. Obviously, she's not
Trisha,
raised
yeah,
related.
Trisha was there. Mhm.
Yeah, I know that she's not raised related anymore, but I knew that 100% she was there.
Was Pena
Yeah.
there?
I didn't see him there. It was mainly, I mean, I
Hmm.
saw the MLB Network guys. I saw Pujols. I don't, I know Pete Alonso like might have been around the area. Like I know there was report that he was like gonna be there, but like I don't think he was actually in person during like when the whole Orioles thing was happening. I think the funniest thing was when I believe he signed, and I think Boris was doing a presser for something totally unrelated, and he like I guess missed it. There was, I'm not even kidding you, there was probably 100 people that went and flocked over to where Boris was doing his presser for like something totally unrelated.
Oh yeah,
That was
his dad jokes went crazy as usual.
Oh yeah. The Pete Alonso glazing was absolutely hilarious. But I mean, good for Pete Alonso getting that deal. Another guy that's gonna just go crazy in the AL East. Like this division is getting ridiculous with talent right now.
Yeah, it's annoying. And meanwhile, the Rays get Steven Matz and Cedric Mullins. Woo.
I mean, I think the Matt signing was really good. I thought honestly he'd sign for more money.
Yeah,
I
no, we
mean,
both said that earlier in the pot. Like Matz is a very Rays signing, which I think is, he fits into the mold of what a Rays, pitcher tends to be more or
Mhm.
less.
yeah, I mean, doesn't walk really anyone, and I think even, I mean, Core I think said, and I think Matt said that he had interest in starting in 2026. So, if the Rays can use him in a multitude of different ways, and I know that this is a guy that the organization has had an eye on for a long time, and I think they even had an eye on him this deadline. So, or I should say uh, this season's deadline. So I was a huge fan of it. And I mean, even the Mullins move, really, I mean, it's a guy that can help in Chandler Simpson's development. I think they see a lot in his potential. He's a solid defensive center fielder. I know you can look at some of the OAA metrics being down, but I like some of the moves that they've been making, and I don't think this team is done making moves either, to be quite honest with you.
Who would they, so if they were to target anyone, because I know, I mean, again, we talked about earlier about Bilal being something of note, potentially Pepio and Boz being something of note. Ketel Marte's name was thrown around as someone that the Rays might target, but like realistically, who are some guys? It doesn't have to be trade candidates, but who are some guys that you think that the Rays might try to target, at least over the next couple months or so?
I like Edgar Caro, just a guy that I've followed for a long time, and I mean, he was close to a 20 home run bat in his last full season of MILB action. The swing decisions are insane. Doesn't whiff, doesn't chase. Um, and I mean, yeah, his 25 numbers weren't the best, but if you look at some of the underlying stuff in terms of the plate discipline, I think he's a really fun player, can hit from both sides. I think he's better against lefties. Um, but I think that could be a catcher that they might be able to target. I think Austin Hayes would be a fine option. I think also Miguel Andujar, if you want to get him into a role where he's just hitting against lefties. The main thing I would want would be a right-handed outfielder, right? I mean, the Rays in the second half in terms of their outfield production outside of Chandler Simpson was pretty bleak to put it with you. I think the outfield in general was like a 76 WRC plus in the second half. So you need to bolster up the outfield. Um, I think Josh Lowe, if he's healthy, is a lot better of a player than we saw last year. But also at the same time, it's like I don't know. You don't really know what you're getting with this outfield group right now outside of Chandler Simpson. And even with Cedric Mullins, like I said, I really like the signing, but the bat still has to be a little bit better. So I think Hayes could be an option. I think Andujar could be an option. And like I said, I think Edward Caro could be more of like a catching depth option. I think he'd be probably the race everyday catcher, and you could have either between Fiducia or Nick Fortes, who's an excellent defender, go behind him. So I think there's a multitude of different moves that they can make right now.
It's funny how he says that probably no less than 10 minutes after I go on a rant saying we can't make any more trades with the White Sox because I'm sick of we've made so many trades with the White Sox recently. But I mean, I'd be down for Edgar. That'd be sick. I think we need that. A catching position is something we didn't really talk about, and that's something that has always been just
I don't want to talk about
we
Hunter.
need
It pisses me off.
we need an actual long-term solution to the
Yeah,
catching position. So
I think if they don't address catching, I mean, Fiducia's numbers in the minors were really good. I understand he's older, which some might scare people, but also the Dodgers, in terms of catching depth, has been insane. When you have Will Smith, who's been a top free catcher in baseball for the last 5 years, it's kind of hard for him to get MLB experience. He's always mashed fastballs, and granted, it was like 120, plate appearance sample size with us. He wasn't that good, but if they don't address catching and it's just going to be Fortes and Fiducia, I guess I'm kind of okay with it, but at the same time, it's like I would not mind. I mean, an upgrade because we've struggled at the position for the last like 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
yeah, I would. All right, I'm lifting off the ban of trading with the White Sox if it's only for Edgar. Edgar, I take. Other than that, I don't. We got to stop trading with the White Sox. They don't have much over there.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, Caro or even I mean, St. Louis has so much catching depth right now. Like you could
Yeah.
look at Bernal, um, Ivan Herrera is obviously not available, but there's Jimmy Cooks. There's plenty of guys I think around the league if you wanted to go around that are like either blocked by a really, really good starting catcher, like you saw what the Whites or the Nationals did with a guy like Harry Ford and scooped him up. But I
That
think
was a really good move by the Nats. The Nats are, I mean, they're going like straight, like everyone in their organization is like 35 years old or younger.
oh
It's
yeah, no,
crazy.
Nationals are definitely on the come up.
Um, but going back to the outfielder thing, I know that obviously the Rays don't like to try to go too old with guys, and I think that's why when we were talking about the whole Marte thing, like the Rays would be trying for someone who is as old, if not older, than Bilal, and would have to give up way more for him because he's that kind of an MVP level candidate. I mean, it's a lot to give up. But on that same vein, in terms of going back to the outfield, I've always looked at Harrison Bader as someone that I feel like is worth it, and I don't think that his price tag is going to be that substantial enough to where the Rays can't afford him. Would that be someone that like you would look at and say, "Hey, this is a decent bat for the Rays to go after," because he's been I mean, from what I've seen, he's been really, really solid offensively, and I know that the glove is, just as good.
Yeah, I mean, he could play every outfield position. I mean, he was like one of my main targets for the Rays to get. I just don't know if they ultimately end up getting him. I think the price range would be kind of where the Rays would be around. To be completely honest, I don't know why I just don't see him as a Ray, especially with getting Mullins and I mean, if you get Harrison Bader, I feel like if you're a team, you're probably getting him to play center field. Like he could play left field at elite level or right field wherever you need him to. Um, the bat also was really good last year, and he went on a heater of a stretch, and that even included us when we played them in Minnesota. I think he had a 2 home run game against us, including I think a walk off. But I think that that won't be as good next year. But if the Rays were somehow able to get him, I think less likely with the Mullins move that we made. But yeah, that would be, I think, a fantastic addition. I mean, this guy has been able to handle lefties his entire career, and he can play, I mean, any outfield position you need him to. He's fantastic defensively too.
I mean, you would be able to open up like it would be an outfield of him, Lowe, and Mullins, and you could just try to. I'm sure he would just play like a corner outfield spot. But like that, considering where the Rays were last year,
Yeah.
when it was like Morel and then DeLuca was like kind of healthy at the start of the year, but really wasn't. And then they went. I don't even. I hate whatever the outfield was last year. It was horrible. But like that compared to what this would be if they were able to sign him. I mean, the upgrade there would be substantial in a year.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they do get another outfielder. I don't think it needs to be a huge splash, I guess, as much anymore because I mean I think Chandler Simpson gets a pretty good amount of playing time. And granted, there is no power profile there, but in terms of the bat to ball skills, they're like Luis Arias. Like if you want to go look at the zone contact and
Yeah,
contact numbers, he's insane bat to ball. If you can have Giant DeLuca float around and be like a fourth outfielder, he can play any multitude of the outfield positions. I think that that would be okay enough for him to do that. I don't know if he's going to be, obviously he's not starting in center field anymore with Cedric Mullins being there, and Chandler Simpson's going to get playing time. And if Josh Lowe is still going to be the right fielder, if they haven't, if they're not planning on making any moves, I think that's probably the outfield going forward. And if you have a Johnny DeLuca or I don't know what's in store for Jake Mangum, but there's a lot of outfielders right now on the team. Like there's probably going to be moves that kind of free that up or just help other parts of the team that may need it, to be honest. But it's not also not a bad thing to have so much outfield depth because we've seen, especially in the last few years, like the outfield also hasn't stayed healthy. Like
Mhm. Yeah. No, I mean, we have just a log jam, but it's not like a log jam that you really want to have. Like, I don't
right.
like it's like a bunch of guys who are like
yeah.
guys
Yeah, it's a
who
lot
are
of a lot
good,
of
but
outfield depth. Yes.
yeah, it's like I don't. It's kind of like
We are
I
okay.
love I love Mangum, but it's like guys like DeLuca and Palacios who are guys who are like still don't really know what we have with you, but also like they don't really turn the needle for me. So
Nah.
like,
No, I mean it makes sense though, like to think like that. I mean, you're not like the Rays do need and like even Jake Fraley, like he's kind of moving the dial, but not really. You're not
yeah,
like, you could get like a very solid season out of him, but a solid season out of him is like 15 homers and 70 RBI.
the ceiling.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what the ceiling is. The ceiling
Yeah.
I
is low.
think I think the ceiling is low. I also think with how I mean, granted, a lot of Josh Lowe's issues are health related, I think Fraley probably provides them with maybe a higher floor at this point, if we're being completely honest. I was a little confused of him signing for 3 million, especially after getting Mullins, but I don't know. I'll have to see what the outfield looks by like regular season time because like there's so many options that they can roll out with, but I mean you can't keep all those guys on the team too. Like there's just way too many roster spots that would be having all those guys on there. I mean, you have a starting three, which I think is pretty formidable, and then you have like four depth options. So it's
But
yeah,
but we
there's got to be some trades that happen. There's no way around it.
but we couldn't give Coretta a spot on the 40 man for some reason. We have like 1,000 outfielders that it's like
Yeah,
we
I
talked
don't.
about the Coretta trade earlier, and I'm not too thrilled about it. But it
Yeah,
like
it's weird. I don't know if you saw it too, but he gained a lot of weight. Like I don't think that like got
mm,
Oh,
reported, but he gained like a pretty decent amount of weight, and the mechanics were like I guess not the best coming out. I was not a fan of us doing that to him though. I think he's an absolute beast.
yeah.
The stuff
so
is
was it like a Sixto move? Similar
I don't know.
vibes?
I don't know. I don't think it was like I don't know. I heard something that it was like he gained a pretty decent amount of weight. I mean, that could be true or false, but I did hear a few things about that. Um, Maybe they just didn't value him as much because I think a year and a half ago, you're like, wow, like he's probably a full-fledged starter. The fastball was there, slider was there. He was like developing a changeup. But I think it's pretty like reliever risk right now. And you have Brody Hopkins that's probably going to pitch next year if there's not somehow a massive Ketel Marte trade. He probably would be a guy that would be in that trade if they were going to get him. Um, I mean, we saw with Christopher Sanchez, ex Ray, that got DFA'd and turned into, you could probably say, a top 10 starter in baseball right now. So the Phillies clearly see something with him. If he's able to get more healthy, and if that weight thing was true, and he's able to get back into his peak physique and stuff like that, I think it's a really good, solid move for the Phillies too.
Because like I don't know, even if the weight thing is true, I still don't think that's enough to be like. I mean, that's one of the more easy things to fix. I feel like it's
Oh
like hey,
yeah,
like it's nothing to do with your actual talent or your mechanics. It's like hey, like we might need to diet. Like I think that's one of the more easier things to fix. I think. And he's 23 years old too. Like it's like that's what it keeps coming back to. Like it's like he was so young, and I just feel like we kind of gave up to on him too soon. And I mean, the listeners have already listened to my rant about this.
Ethan, one last thing for you. For the rest of the offseason, uh, we kind of did a wish list thing, but is there anything like uh, going alongside of that? Is there a surprise name or a surprise move that you could see the Rays trying to do, whether that be a signing or a trade that might happen this offseason?
ooh, I don't know. I don't see it being a huge signing, but like I said, if you can get a right-handed outfielder that is pretty serviceable defensively, it's a huge help. The outfield was just so atrocious last year. Like putting it as bluntly as it was not good. You can't
Mm,
put out a
correct.
winning team with the outfield production that we got last year. Like I said, I mean Austin Hayes, Miguel Andujar, maybe try and get a guy like Edgar Caro, Jimmy Crooks, Bernal, like any sort of kind of starting catcher would be solid if they're going to go after a guy like that. But overall, I'd probably target some of those guys and one of the outfielders that's pretty good against lefties and could play some decent defense.
Is there anyone
Um,
realistic that you want the Rays to have going into next year?
um,
Like not Otani, because that's what Evan
I
said. It's
mean,
a horrible idea.
I mean, you said what's my wish list? Yeah, Ohtani
Yeah,
literally.
no shit.
I mean, I think I think Ketel Marte, the value that we have to give to the Diamondbacks, I think that would be like my ultimate guy. Like I think you could Aranda might be involved, to be quite honest. If you're getting a bat like that, Aranda or a guy like that of that caliber is probably going there. If you don't have to involve Aranda in a trade, I would trade almost anyone except Junior for Ketel Marte. Like the offense would be unbelievable if that were able to happen. So if there was a huge wish list guy, it would be Ketel Marte. I think we have the pieces for it. I don't think that there would be a team that would rival what we could give Arizona, and he would make our team immensely better. And the contract is crazy. Like it is so good. I think in 27 or 28, he's making $13 million. Like I think Brandon Lau is making 11 right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think I mean, I love Brandon Lau, but I don't think those players are really comparable. So
No.
if you want to go out and get a big fish, and we've been rumored to get him, and this is the time to get him, I'd be all in on Ketel Marte.
I was gonna ask, we talked about like instead of trading for Cattell, what if like what would your thoughts be about just extending Belau? Like
I wouldn't be opposed to it. Um, it just, I mean, he's gonna be older. The defense was really, I don't know, second base defense doesn't really matter that much, but it was like negative 15, 16 OAA, and it was like his
Mhm.
worst ERS season. The bat is so good, but there's also health concerns. I don't know if they probably extend him. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, he's when healthy a top five, top three second baseman at the absolute best. But I don't know. It's tough. I don't see the Rays extending him though.
Okay.
Past this season.
I'm telling you, this is where we go after Paul Skeens. One for one deal. It's going to happen. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. If the Pirates want him, I
I mean,
want
you
the
were in on
absolute,
Polanco. It's just Polanco was so expensive.
I want
I
the
would say
absolute most.
if we got Paul Skeens,
I'm going to
if
steal.
we got
I'm
Paul
going
Skeens,
to ruin Pittsburgh's day. God damn it.
I mean, Junior would be involved if we were getting Paul Skeens.
Nah, yeah, no, that would be
I'm
impossible.
not kidding. I just swear. If we were really getting Paul Skeens, that would be
I
the
don't.
number one guy. That would
If
be
it
involved.
if it if it means giving up Junior Caminero, I'm good. Just goodbye. I don't need to worry about Paul. Just go away. Just Junior, I'll keep. I'll keep him for as long as the Rays can keep him.
Yeah, I
Unfortunately.
just think I think well, one thing that I don't know if you guys have talked about too is with like all the moves in the AL East, right? Like Dylan Cease just signed for $30+ million a year. Pete
Alonso
Alonso
just
just
signed for
signed.
30 plus. Yeah,
It's like I know that the Rays new ownership is willing to spend money. I honestly hope that with all what just happened, like this kind of encourages it more. Like this division is going to be insanely competitive. I don't think Baltimore is done getting starting pitching. I think they're like one or two away from being
Mhm.
insanely good. They've
I
already
mean,
made
Taylor
moves to the
Ward is
bullpen.
huge too. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, they got Taylor Ward, and um, I just think that the Rays need to make another. Like I said, it doesn't need to be a huge move, but I think another outfielder would be good. And if I mean, we've been, I know we were linked to Sean Murphy and talking with Sean Murphy. Seemed like almost the whole season we were interested in him. So if they're interested in getting a catcher, that'd be good. But I think number one focus has to be the outfield. I think it
100%.
has to be.
100%. All right. Well, Ethan, thank you so much for coming on, man. Want to give you the chance to plug everything that you got going on. Also, I'm glad that you were able to experience the winter meetings. I know it's a really, really cool place, so I'm
yeah,
glad you got
that's
the
pretty
opportunity
sweet.
to. But where can people find you out on social media and everything else that you got going on?
Yeah, just OPS underscore baseball on Twitter, and probably next week I'm gonna start getting into YouTube. So like more of like long form stuff for my breakouts and stuff like that.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks so much, man. And for everyone listening, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back in this latest episode of Raise the Roof.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ethan.